pies. Lucy, could you take that chicken sandwich and like add a thin layer of spinach posey on top and mash it all together?
I think we should when it comes out.
It sounds pretty delicious too. It's got a nice crunch too if you get the fried chicken. Lucy's live with us today, and you are making what you call a spinach posey. I've never tried this before.
Yes, it is named after, of course, my grandmother Posey. She passed away this year, so it'll be our first Thanksgiving and Christmas and all those things without her. But this is a family favorite for us, and it's just creamed spinach, but we call it Spinach Posey because, of course, Posey was Posey's name. Yeah. And it is probably one of the easiest with the least amount of ingredients recipes that I've shared, and which is kind of good when you know, a lot of people. It's funny because I feel like in our family, everybody kind of brings something, but often when I ask people what their Thanksgiving plans are, they list off all this stuff that they're making. I'm like, you're making all that? So sometimes it's nice to have a Thanksgiving recipe that isn't too difficult.
Right.
If you are making a lot of stuff.
Yes.
So we're just gonna get started. In this pan, I just have 3 tablespoons of butter.
I can smell it, and it does smell so delicious.
It's those toasted breadcrumbs on top with the sage in there. And this is actually this is just half the recipe. So online, or when you go and you see the recipe, this is what I'm doing is half that amount. So just so nobody gets confused. So anyway, this is 3 tablespoons of butter, and I'm going to add half of a thing of cream cheese, which is 8 ounces because it's a 16-ounce pack. And then I'm going to go ahead and add our seasonings in here, which is salt, pepper, and some ground sage. So that's what you smell, and it's kind of that smell of Thanksgiving because a lot of people use poultry seasoning when they're doing their turkeys, and there's sage in that too. So anyway, that's that smell.
I've never had cream spinach.
Really?
Yes.
And a lot of people make like spinach madeleine or something like that where it's spicy.
Yeah.
But this one's not spicy, so it's a great crowd pleaser because, you know, the kids can eat it, and anybody that's sensitive to heat doesn't have to worry about this. So
now,
it's really simple.
You eat it with like a utensil, or do you treat this as a dip, or can it be both?
Yeah, so you eat it like a side dish.
Yeah.
So when you scoop it out, you can see that it's just, you know, the spinach under there and then the breadcrumb topping. So it's just like a side dish.
Delicious.
Yes. So
well, if you want to make that, you surely can. I like easy, and I'm sure a lot of folks do, especially during Thanksgiving and the holidays.
Absolutely. And it's hard to believe that it's already here. And actually, I got my turkey breast yesterday.
Okay.
I kind of like to shop early. I was in the store anyway. Of course, we have all the hams and turkeys and everything out. So I went ahead and picked up my turkey breast because that's what I'm responsible for. And it's also not too late to order a Thanksgiving dinner from any deli. Or, you know, if you don't want to order the full dinner, you can order sides or just the turkey or just the ham. You know, we'll cook it for you. So lots of options. You can, of course, get everything if you're going to cook. So if you don't want to cook.
You're responsible for the turkey. That's like the main.
Well, it's funny because I always like just the white meat, like the turkey breast. And my mom always does the turkey. But of course, as we get older, you know, things change. And so we kind of have a small get together with just our immediate family. And I don't know how it kind of happened. I just said, okay, I'll do the turkey breast. She's probably thinking, why don't you want me? Why don't you want me to do the turkey?
I know she's watching this morning too. I know your turkey is delicious. Lucy just wanted to be an amazing daughter and take that load off of your shoulders.
That is so right, Mom.
Exactly.
That is so right.
So Thanksgiving again is next week. So you want to go ahead and go to Greer's like Lucy. Go ahead and get your shopping done. But if you're last minute too, of course, you guys should be stocked with all the good stuff. But it's never a bad idea to go ahead and knock it out.
Absolutely. And on Thanksgiving, we will be open until noon.
Okay.
So
nice.
So everybody knows.
So you can pick something up if you want to cook dinner that night or maybe a later lunch. We're going to come back with Lucy and finish up the Spinach Posey next on Studio 10. Joe.
Not gyro, it's Euro.
I think the biggest one that was a surprise to me with that was the acai. Acai, that one was the biggest one. Well, we are back in the kitchen with Lucy right now, and you are cooking up your take on the cream spinach, and we're calling it Spinach Posey.
Yes, named after my grandmother, and this is a family favorite for ours. It's funny, a friend was asking yesterday, you know, I need some recipes to cook for Thanksgiving, and my other friend said, cook Spinach Posey, it's on her website. So this is a favorite of family and friends. So we just started with 3 tablespoons of butter and also 8 ounces of cream cheese, and I did some salt and pepper and some ground sage, and I just melted that. And in this, I just took 2 boxes of frozen chopped spinach, and get the chopped, if you can. The leaf spinach is just a lot longer, and it's, kind of a little bit harder to eat. And I just cooked it like the package said, and then took some time to get all the water out of it. And so now I'm just going to add this in here. And I mentioned earlier, this is just a small portion of it. This is just a half recipe, but depending on how many people you're going to have for Thanksgiving, you can up or down the recipe. So I'm just gonna get this combined, and then you just take a baking dish that will fit it. I'm gonna spray it and get this in here, and then a little bit later we'll make the topping.
Ooh, yeah, and you were saying earlier that this is just a simple recipe just to add another side dish, mix it up a little bit, bring something green to the table too.
Yeah.
But also you were talking about today is Greer's, they just released their Thanksgiving ad.
Yes, we have our ad posted, and it's gonna run all the way through Thanksgiving, all the way through next week. So if you are an early planner, which is not really getting to be that early anymore, but you can go on and see, what we have on sale, and go ahead and get your turkey or your ham, whatever you're gonna get, and just go ahead and plan. And a lot of times, people are so busy this year, and most of the kids are out of school next week. So if you aren't able to get to the grocery store, you can definitely place your order online and either just come pick it up, or we have delivery options too.
Very convenient for you this whole having it using the cream cheese base more to it.
Yes, and it doesn't have any cream or milk or anything, so that's why it's so easy, and it's just something that you can do. You can make this ahead, of course. You can go ahead and get it to this point, and even get the breadcrumbs mixed up and put it on there, and then just bake it off the morning or afternoon, whenever you're going to be having your Thanksgiving meal.
Super
So that's
easy.
Ready for our topping.
Perfect. So when we come back, we're going to finish up this cream spinach, put the topping on it. Excited to see that end result. We'll be back with Lucy in just a little bit. Chelsea.
Welcome back into Studio 10 on this Wednesday alongside Lucy from Greer's. Lucy, always a special moment when family traditions and legacies and things are passed down, and that's what you're doing today with this dish here.
Yes, I think that's one of people's most favorite things about Thanksgiving is exactly what you said. And so today we are making Spinach Posey, and I mentioned earlier that Posey, and a lot of people have seen her on the show before, is my maternal grandmother, and she passed away this year, but this is something that we always had, of course, at Thanksgiving and Christmas, but also just all around Easter. I mean, anytime we like to make spinach posey. And it's so simple. So what I already did, and this is just a small recipe of it, but we took 2 packs of frozen chopped spinach. We cooked that according to the package instructions and got all the water out of it. And then we melted some butter and some cream cheese, and added a little bit of salt and pepper and some ground sage, and just mixed all that together and put it in our baking dish. And the best part about it is the breadcrumb topping. Ooh. So I have some melted butter right here, and then I'm gonna add 3/4 cup. I like to use the Italian breadcrumbs just because it has all the good flavor in there.
Yeah.
And then I'm gonna add a little bit more of that ground sage. I'm just going to mix this together, and then we're going to put it on top. And I mentioned earlier that at this point you could just pop it in the fridge and then, bake it off whenever you're going to have your meal. So it's something that you can make ahead, and it'll be just as good. So
that's really helpful too, because so many people are trying to figure out, okay, what's my oven space? What is the timing on this? When do I need to have this done? So the fact that you can kind of just set this aside and have it prepared before that point is helpful.
Yes, absolutely. And we'll just pop it in at 350, and it'll take about 30 minutes just for everything to get hot. And then the breadcrumbs are going to get a little nice toast on there. So then we just pour it on, and it is ready to go.
All right, as mentioned, next week is the World Cup coverage here on Fox 10, so we won't have Studio 10. We won't have Fox 10 midday, so we won't see you the day before Thanksgiving, Lucy. But we wanted to remind folks they can get everything they need for Thanksgiving at Greer's.
Yes, absolutely, and we are going to be open on Thanksgiving Day just until noon. We close early enough where people can spend time with their families, but we're also a community store, and a lot of times we're the only store in town, so we feel like we need to be open a little bit just for those last minute shopping emergencies. So, but if you are a planner, of course, our Thanksgiving ad did break today, so you can go ahead and get everything that you need. Shop online if you don't want to go in the store. We'll bring it out to your car, or you can have it delivered. And like I mentioned before, if you are not a cooker, then you can order from the deli too.
All right, great stuff. Happy Thanksgiving to you and your family,
happy
friend.
Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving to everybody out there.
All right, y'all. Great recipe. You're going to see it on the Studio 10 tab shortly after the show. Chelsea.